Hi everybody, I'm Jack and this is Raw Tropical Living. Thanks for joining me today. Well, I am enjoying a nice quiet Saturday afternoon here on the mountain, and that is more valuable than it used to be. As I've mentioned in recent videos, changes being made around the house. They're starting to do work around the house, so I don't have this property to myself all the time. The maid came for about 4 hours this morning. She just left, so I've got from noon until maybe nobody comes tomorrow either. But anyhow, just got back from the market about an hour or two ago, and it is just a great day. So I'm going to just kind of address some of the common things that people ask about raw veganism, complain about raw veganism, balk at because of, like, okay, well, and that's like no protein, too much sugar, and it's boring. It's boring. Anyhow, I do videos like this every day, so if you're not already subscribed, I'd appreciate if you'd hit that subscribe button now and come back and watch some more videos. And click on the little bell and check send notifications so you will stay subscribed to the channel. Oh yeah, it's a good day. You know, I don't know if you can ever tell, but I'm even in a better mood than normal on Saturdays because, oh yeah, that market's just like my Christmas. My 52, well, not 52, but my weekly Christmas day. Got epic, spectacular mangoes this morning. Already drank a half-gallon of sugarcane and orange juice while I was at the market, and then had a big bowl of mangoes when I got back. So life's good. Anyhow, these are the questions that everybody gets. You know, you don't even necessarily have to be raw vegan. I know the protein thing is something that all the vegans get. A little bit more on the vegan, a little bit more on the raw when it comes to the protein, because there's a couple of things that the cooked vegans eat that raw vegans tend to not. But anyhow, let's just get started. No protein, no protein, no protein. You know, we get plenty of protein. Protein's a very misunderstood component. I mean, listen, I've been going to the gym for years and years and years and years, and I remember being in my 20s, and it was all like, erroneously, we always just were trying to pack as much protein into the body as we could, and the body can't process it anyway, and it just taxes the kidneys, because when you're overdoing on that protein, you just end up peeing all the excess out, which ergo messes with your kidneys, and you can't use it. Protein has to be broken down into an amino acid, and when people are pounding all this protein, all these protein powders, protein, they can't, their body can't support that. There's protein in everything, but I'm not going to sit here and talk about protein in fruit. I know some raw vegans do that, but nah. I'm just, and they talk about their percentages like it's 4%, but I mean, no, for me, and hey, now your mileage may vary or your beliefs may vary, but I looked at other things for my sources of protein. I feel like, you know, between a variety of things that I include in my diet, like I eat a lot of greens, I eat spirulina. I eat spirulina quite regularly, which has has a good bit of protein in there. I eat the seeds. I eat chia seeds. I eat hemp seeds. Now I'm in a period now where I'm not eating overt fat. We'll see. That probably won't last for too much longer, but usually, so I'm getting, so you know, getting it from there. And just the fact, if we will eat an adequate amount of calories for our body, you're going to get enough protein. You know, it kind of popped into my head. I was working out a couple of days ago, and I was thinking about protein. It was just kind of one of those, yeah, that makes sense. You know, I'm not some huge big guy, but I've put on a little bit more size. You know, I'm getting a little bit of strength gains and putting a little bit slowly by slowly. I'm 53 years old. Now, I'm going to say this, and all these other raw vegans and whatever out there that people say, well, you're going to be deficient in protein or you're not getting enough protein. I almost have to theorize that if that was true, if we really had that inadequate of protein, that we wouldn't be able to make any gains whatsoever, that our muscles would, what is it when they go down? They would atrophy, that you would not be able to get any strength gains whatsoever. I mean, I don't know, just think about it. I mean, I was just thinking, just the proof is kind of in what you're doing. If you're able to, if you have adequate strength, if you're able to work out, if you're able to get out and play, you're probably getting enough protein. So like I say, I don't even get into the, I'm not going to get into the long, I watched a couple of videos, I always do, I just like to see what other people have to say. And boy, there were some out they did a good job, but it would have been like schoolwork for me. I'm not going to get into explaining the whole deep science and getting down into formulas and stuff. There's a lot better people that can explain that formula for you out there. Now, one thing, and I've talked about it before, but I talk about things sometimes and don't get around to doing them. I get just caught up in a whole bunch of different things, and that's beans. Ergo, I'm a raw vegan, so I don't eat cooked, but beans are the one thing that a lot of people I respect recommend. And one of the first things I'm going to do when I get to the States is get myself a proper sprouting lid and get some jars. And I'm going to do some sprouting in the States this summer. And I'm going to see if I can't sprout some lentils and stuff. That would be the only thing. And just not so much for the protein, but there's just a lot of benefits to beans. So I'm going to try the sprouted version. Like I say, this is a journey. I seek the truth. I seek what's best for my body. I'm not saying there may not come a time when if I'm not able to, if I don't like what I'm getting on the sprouted beans, or if I'm not able to get a source regularly enough, who knows, might start eating beans one of these days. But I would like to experiment and play with the sprouted, sprouted lentils, the mung beans, and not all beans. Actually, I love carrying that around on my Kindle, that Brenda Davis book, Becoming Vegan. She deals with the beans, and there's different kind of beans that are okay. Like some people sprout and eat beans that you're really not so great to do. But anyhow, we're not getting on a sprouting thing. The protein, don't worry about your protein. And that's the first question you're going to get asked by anybody when you're a vegan, for sure a raw vegan. So what I would do is I'm not getting into these whole emotional back and forth of, oh, blah, 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 and trying to plead with them, oh, yes, we get enough protein. I just tell them matter of fact that I look like I'm deficient on protein. I get protein from this, and this. And then I usually refer people. I'm not going to try to memorize all the deep science stuff in my head. I refer people. I say, hey, go watch this video. It's a good explanation on the science of all the protein stuff. Sugar. Same thing, we hear all the time, and I will have people comment on my Instagram on different things, and it's just kind of an odd way today. You should actually make it a statement. Don't you think that's too much sugar? Well, no. I'm not sitting. Am I going to be sitting here filming myself doing something that I think, and then like when somebody points it out, oh yeah, that was a mistake, I shouldn't have done it. No, the fact that I'm doing it means I don't think it's a mistake. You always heard you're going to have blood sugar issues with all this. It's refined sugar that is the enemy. There's nothing. It's just a solid sugar. It's just going. It has nothing of value. I won't say it has nothing of value to it, but I mean it's concentrated. When we're talking about sugar, we're talking about sugar. Fruit sugar. And a lot of times that is some reason. I do drink my juice, and I talk about my juice, but I really like eating the whole fruit, or even if in smoothies, because I like getting that fiber with it, because we get a little bit, hey, I drink my juice, and I'm always going to drink my juice because I like my juice, but I can tell we get a slower discharge of that sugar, when we have some fiber with it. Now, as far as the blood sugar issues go, that's mostly a fat issue. Like our bodies are built with fuel. Like sugar is our fuel. Fruit sugar is our fuel, and we can eat in my opinion, we can eat all of it we want. When the problem comes in is when we're eating a lot of fruit and when we're eating too much fat, because that fat keeps the sugar in the bloodstream and doesn't allow it to be dispersed through the body, and that's when your blood sugar gets jacked up. And once again, I'm giving you just a rudimentary kind of explanation how I tell people, and then once again, I usually have a good video that explains it in nerd detail down to every last thing that I can refer them to. But basically, no, you're not gonna. You're not going to have a problem with sugar if you're not eating too much fat, and also if you're eating your sugar in whole food forms. And like I say, I'm not fanatical. I've adjusted a bit on the juice. I think probably as my evolution has come, I would say there was a period 2 years ago where I drank a lot of juice, a lot of fruit juice. Like I was probably drinking, God, I remember going through a period where I was drinking half a gallon of orange juice every day. But that was also too, there was other reasons. It wasn't like I wasn't even trying to say, oh, this is optimal or whatever. A lot of times That orange juice, if you're busy, if you're running around, it can get you. You can get a lot of you can get some calories into you. What I'm trying to say. And like when I was on the go, it would just be if I knew, you know, God, I'm probably gonna miss. I'm not gonna get to eat that much today. You could get I could get a half gallon of orange juice, drink it in 2 sittings, and like, you know, have a lot of calories right there. So I can't think of anything, any adverse effects, even anything that I noticed that might be not optimal on fruit. You know, it's not too much sugar. It's plain and simple. And the last one you always hear is it's boring. This has got to be such a boring lifestyle. Really, when you've got recipes out there where you've got the vegan lasagnas, you've got, oh my gosh, pasta, you know, mock pastas, pizzas. Now granted, you know, sometimes I'm always thinking, and I just did in light of that recent what I eat in a day or what I'm eating right now video, I don't ever want my what I eat in a day videos to be misunderstood. I'm not, if you've watched my channel a while, you'll know it's the opposite. I'm not one of these that preaches some sort of purity. And in fact, most people are not going to eat like I eat. And so when I'm talking about high fat, when I'm talking about people eating too much fat, when I'm talking about people using these recipes with so much nuts and fat in it, you know, I don't mean throw it out altogether. You know, for people are at different places in their journey, and in my opinion, there's no problem in splurging a little bit once in a while. It's just in the regular thing, like, you know, not gonna have a problem even if it's higher fat and you've got some nuts in there. Having a lasagna on the weekend, no big deal. What I'm getting at is like I say, you're probably not going to do it as simple as me until you go through some steps. Maybe you would even have to live in a place where you had access to a certain type of fruit to get to that place, because I have fruit all the time. This is not something that I'm like trying to be extreme. This is not something like I'm not really trying to do anything with I eat. I eat what I feel like eating. I eat like how my body leads me to eat in certain periods. Interesting, at the market this morning, for the first time I started feeling a little pang of wanting something savory again, but that's not going to happen it'll still be another week or 10 days, because like I say, I'm going down to the beach, and when I'm at the beach, it's easier for me just to stay on the fruit there, because I got so many sources there. Right across the street from the hotel where I'm going to be staying. I'm not staying at the little beach hotel this time. I'm staying at my buddy's hotel that owns this house right here, and it's in the middle of town, and it just happens to be right across the street from where I hang out and eat the whole time. It's where I get those acai bowls. She'll have the best mangoes in town. She'll have the best smoothies in town. So I will be one happy camper. But probably looking at a week from now, another 8 or 9 days, and I'm gonna be ready to get some savory back in there again. Who knows, probably add some fat too. Anyhow, this one kind of got to rambling, didn't it? Hope you guys got something of value out of it. If you like this one, please give me a thumbs up, and I will see you guys again tomorrow. Peace.